FAQs. So if you could come, we'll be appreciated. We'll be very glad to receive, receive you. Okay, that is the news for our live stream. We'll attend the exhibition next Monday to next Thursday. That is from September 5th to September 8th in Suzhou, the Suzhou Taihu National Conference Center, and the bus number is VIP6. So we, of course, we will very appreciate if you could come, and we can discuss. We'll show you our advanced equipment, one set of our optical sorting machine, one set of our optical sorting machine, the exhibition, and we'll discuss the techniques, the latest technologies with you. So that is the news. Okay. Now let's come back to our live stream today. The topic of our live stream is how to inspect 1,000. Sorry, how to inspect 1,000,000 parts. 1,000 parts. 1,000,000 parts in a day. You may ask, so many parts in a day. Is it really needful? Where so many parts? What are the parts so large for production? So high production rate. The answer is fasteners. Fasteners, that's bolts, nuts, screws, rivets. They are very small. They are very small. They are very common, and they are widely used. So the production capacity is very high. So 1,000,000 parts per day is very common for this manufacturer. 1,000,000 parts, or even more than that. So the question is, after the production of these parts, how to guarantee the quality, how to inspect these fasteners, how to achieve the inspection of 1,000,000 parts per day. If you use traditional methods, using manual methods, there are 2 points. There are 2 problems. First, the dimensions. How to measure the dimensions? They may use the near caliper, may use the thread micrometer, maybe the gauge, go and no go gauge, or may use the projector. This has to measure the critical dimensions, to measure the crucial dimensions, and make sure they are within the specification. But you can see, measure them by operators, measure them using this measurement tools by operators is very time consuming. You cannot measure each all these. You cannot. It's not feasible to measure every piece of these parts using manual method. So the manufacturers, the fastener manufacturers, almost always adopt a sampling plan. They make sampling inspection, maybe 1% or 2% of the total production run. The result is that there's a risk that some defect parts may slip through, no matter how well your sampling plan is. how so that is the first problem. They simply instruction may cause the fifth path to slip through and deliver to the end user. Hi guys, welcome to our lesson. Okay, that is the first problem. The second problem is the appearance defects, the visual defects. How to observe them? You may use maybe they observe them by human eyes, maybe with the help of magnifying glasses. But in that case, there's another problem is that there are always there are almost always errors occur during procedure. Why? Because human makes mistakes due to fatigue of operator, due to the complicated structure of the part. The operators make mistakes. Their judgment made by operator is subjective and inconsistency. In that case, in that case, they may judge it as good one this time. Next time, they may judge it other one because the judgment for the visual defect is subjective. It all depends on the on the on the operator. Yes, that is the question. The standard, the judgment, the criteria they use to judge the part is is subjective. There's no objective criteria. That is the technical problem. Even you check, you make 100% inspection using manual methods, check the real defect. You will also the misjudgment completely cannot be avoided completely. Okay, so we have discussed the quality problem and the manual methods to check the quality, to check the path. So you cannot achieve 100, 1 million paths. You cannot check 1 million paths in a day. So how to achieve this goal? How to inspect 1 million paths in a day? The answer is automated inspection machine as this one below me. So that's the reason why more and more fastener manufacturers introduced our optical sorting machine, our fastener inspection machine. We can make a calculation how to achieve 1 million parts per day. The speed our machines can reach up to 1,000 pieces per minute, maybe even higher than that. Of course, the speed depends on the size of the parts. It also depends on the inspection items of the parts. Usually, our parts, our machines, at least can inspect a few hundred pieces per minute. For small parts, for smaller parts, usually the speed are higher. Okay, so if we can achieve 1 minute or 1,000 pieces per day per minute, that means how many pieces we can achieve, we can inspect it in a day. There are 24 hours a day. If we work to, and that is about 1,000, more than 1,400 minutes every day. 1,400 minutes every day. If you work 3 shifts or 2 shifts, there are always more than 1,000 minutes. 1,000 minutes. And 1,000 minutes times 1,000 pieces per minute, you can get 1 million parts per day. That is what the speed our machine can achieve. Also, I don't mean that every state of our machine can can achieve such speed, but for small parts, there is no challenge for us to achieve such a speed. Inspect 1 million parts per day. Okay. For the machine below me, it will inspect it, a special type of fastener. It's a special part we call it small pin, small axle. Small pin. It's a non-standard part. One side is flat, the other side there's a blind hole, and there's a through hole, very tiny through hole here. Okay, that is a part. It's very small. How small? Let me make check with the linear caliper. Diameter, can you see? The diameter is 7 millimeters. The height, can you see? The height is about 19.5 millimeters, less than 20 millimeters. And the front hole is about 3 millimeters. So this is a very tiny straw hole, very tiny pin. And the brand hole, the depth of the brand hole is about 4.7 meters. Okay, that is a very small pin, and our machine will inspect such a small pin. The machine below me. So first, uh, I would like to introduce the structure of the machine. Okay. Hi guys, welcome to our live stream. This is Owen with Open Next Group. I'm your host today, and my contact information is here below me. This is my mobile phone number, and it's also my WhatsApp number, and this is my email address. So you can contact me very easily. Contact me very easily. We are always here to serve you. Uh, okay, so let me introduce the structure of the machine. The machine is made of two parts. You can see here the pillars and the main body of the machine. The chamber is a steel sheet cabinet made of steel sheet, and the main part, the workstations are inside the cabinet, inside the chamber, and you can open the door and see the details inside. The structure is that the function of our machine is that the feeder will vibrate the parts, will orient the parts, and convey the parts to the work table of the machine. The work table, yeah. And we will inspect the parts will from several directions, inspect the parts, measure them, measure the dimensions, inspect real defects, observe uh, appearance defects, and we'll collect them according to the quality. We'll collect the good ones, and we'll reject the defective parts, and finally we'll have some mechanism to clean the work table automatically. That is basic structure of our machine. Okay, first, the parts in the feeder. According to the feeder, it's a vibrating ball feeder, and the middle is like a very big hooper. It's a hooper. Parts are pushed apart in the hooper. So the hooper will vibrate and the part will be oriented, vibrated, and oriented finally converted to the inner feeder. The inner feeder, the, the, the inner feeder serves as a bridge. Serve as a bridge. It will convey the path from vibrate ball feeder to the work table of the machine. Okay. In some case, we may replace the inner feeder by a belt conveyor. Belt conveyor uh, have similar function. Have similar function to convey the parts from vibrate ball feeder to the work table. Okay. Then we come to the work table. It's made of glass disc. It's made of high transparent, high transmittance glass disc. We call it glass dial. We all call it, or maybe call it glass disc. It will rotate continually, again and again, rotating at even speed uh, from when we start the machine, when the machine is running. Okay, here is the first mechanism. It's there's a steel wheel attached at the bottom of the first mechanism. The steel wheel is above, is placed above this glass cell, only a few millimeters above the glass cell. There's a very tiny clearance. There's no touch, no touch. They do not touch each other. There's a very small clearance. The steel wheel will rotate continuously, will rotate at the same speed at the same speed same at the same speed of the to the of the graphite. So the parts will be pushed, will be adjusted to the correct position, will be pushed to the correct side on the graphite. After that, the parts will be unveiled, will rotate with the graphite to the next mechanism. So sensor, there is a sensor. The sensor fixed on this block, fixed on this block. The sensor it will generate or organize. The sensor serves as a lookout, or you may call it a receptionist. It will tell the system that a part is coming. Please get ready for inspection. Okay. Next, the sensor will also have the function of counting. It will count how many parts, how many parts, parts, how many parts are already entered into the inspection room. So the system will record a number. After that, we come to the first workstation for inspection, one. Here you can see the camera is placed at the bottom. And the light source, there are two light sources. One placed at the above the part. The other placed underneath, beneath the part. So it will illuminate the part. The illumination is very good, and we can see clear images on the computer screen. Okay, that the camera placed at the bottom, so it will give the bottom view of the part. Next workstation is the CD2 for inspection. CD2. The camera is placed at one corner inside the chamber. It's very distant from the camera, to the glass tile. So it will get the side view. You get a side view of the part. The side view is the like of rectangular uh, oblong part or shape, rectangular part shape. Will measure the dimension, the height of the part and other dimensions. Okay, this is second workstation for inspection. After that, we come to the third workstation for inspection. There's a camera placed at the top of the parts. There's eight lenses, eight prisms inside the lenses. So it looks like the lenses and the cameras look like trumpet or you may call it a bigger one. The shape is quite unique. There are eight lenses, eight prisms from eight directions. You will get the images or parts from eight directions, from northeast, north south, east west, northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. So all around the parts, the 360 degree of the contour will be inspected, will be observed. There's no hidden area. There's no dark corner. The part will be checked, will be observed thoroughly. So after that, we come to after the three workstations for inspection. We'll collect according to their quality. The good ones, the NG parts will be separated. So you you will get the good parts, and there's no risk that the defect parts may be mixed with the good ones. The first is charcoal. You can see here the orange cube. It's a pneumatic device. There's a pipe at the end of the tube. The pipe will blow off the part if the part is good. If we found the dimensions are within the tolerance and the appearance is good, and there's no imperfection on the surface of the part, they will be just as good and will be brought to the first correcting through the first discharge port. Okay, after that, when the part is defective, when there's defects found on the surface of the part, or there are some dimensions without the tolerance, the sizes the parts are outside. These parts are defective ones, defective parts, and will be brought through the second discharge port and collected by the second collect bin. Okay, that is the defect parts are also important because the customer can know what are the customer can analyze these defect parts, and they can try to find out the root cause of this defective and try to improve their production efficiency, try to improve their production and reduce the defective rate. Okay. After that, we'll come to the third discharge port. You may wonder why we need a third discharge port besides good one and NG one. The answer is one word: emergency. When it happens, when something accident happens, the emergency button are pushed, so the machine are shut down suddenly. The work table are stopped unexpectedly. In that case, the parts remain on the glass dial is doubtful. Their quality is uncertain. we are not sure these tasks are good or bad. So when we restart the machine, these tasks remain on the grass dial will be judged as retested tasks. They will be collected through the third discharge port and collected by the third collect bin. And these tasks will be powered into the feeder when we restart the machine, and they will be inspected once again. That's why we need a third discharge port and a third collect bin. Okay. Now, these parts, good ones, bad ones, and retest. These parts are separated, and we'll come to the some other mechanism. There's another wheel, but it's not steel wheel. It's steel wheel, and but at bottom there's it's an aluminum wheel, but at the bottom there are sponge attached to the aluminum wheel. So under the sponge, there's no clearance between the sponge and the glass dial. So the sponge will touch the glass dial. They will touch it when the machine is running. So the sponge will clean the glass dial automatically. There's it serves as automatic cleaning device. Okay, so now we can see the structure of our machine. The high-speed variable feeder will feed the parts quickly at a high speed, and the high transparency glass dial will make the parts can be observed clearly from bottom, no matter from bottom or from up or from bottom. No matter no matter the glass dial separated the parts and the camera or not, the, the, the part can be observed clearly even from under the glass dial. Okay, and there are several cameras and lenses, high resolution, high definition cameras, and will get very clear images by the computer. And the special design rotating disc, rotating mechanism, will achieve steadily rotating. Will make there's no vibration during the rotating, and the parts can be observed very clearly. And some computer controlled pneumatic device will blow off the parts once required, and the automated clean device, automated automatic clean device mechanism. Okay, that is our structure of our machine. And during the working condition, the doors can be closed, so the noise will eliminate the noise and provide you environment, quiet condition. Make your workshop quiet. That is the structure of a machine. Okay. Hi guys, welcome to our live stream. I'm very glad you could join me here. This is Howard with OpenX Group. I'm your host today, and right now I'm in our Shanghai factory. if you could come to our factory, I will be very happy. Our factory is about 25 minutes from Hongqiao Airport by car. Okay, so after the instruction of the structure, now I will let the machine tell. As the proverb says, seeing is believing. I will switch on the machine and let the machine tell. Our machines are very here. They just press one button. Hi guys, welcome to our last game. Our machine is running. Here you can see the parts are conveyed by the battery of heater. Here, transferred to the work table, and then several workstations were inserted in the part. So you can see it's very easy to operate. So the instruction is automatic. There's no need to interface during the inspection procedure. Okay? Hi guys. Now I will show the structure of the machine, and I also let the machine tell you. The machine running for a few minutes. Now, somebody may ask, what are the parts can be inspected by your machine? You tell me the detectable parts. Okay, no problem. I'll introduce. I'll make a brief introduction about the parts which can be inspected by us. I only show you some typical examples. First group, the bolts. This is a middle-sized bolt with socket head. Other bolts like the branch bolts, the hex bolts, the stoven bolts, the carriage bolts, some headless bolts we call it studs or set screws, and some special bolts like French bolts, some uh, touch bolts. For this one, for this bolt, and it's made of carbon steel, and the surface is zinc plating, or may call it galvanizing, and it's mid-size bolts are made of the diameter for dimensions. The dimensions is about 12 millimeters. The major diameter 11.8 millimeters. The the total length is about 82 millimeters. The thickness of the head, the height of the head was 12 millimeters. It's a middle-sized boat with socket head, and the drive type is hex hold, which will accept an Allen key boats. Another boat, this one is also a boat. This is a French boat. You can see here's the French with the hex head. The French boat will serve as a washer, will distribute the forces between the boats and the parts. The diameter about 8 millimeters. This one is quite unique. It's also a French boat. There's French here. This one is made of copper. So pure copper boat. The head is round. It's a round head, and the and the French. Okay, besides that, another group is nuts. Nuts of different size and different shape, different material, and different surface finish. Hex nuts, square nuts, wing nuts, floating nuts, coupling nuts, rivet nuts, and T nuts. Row and T nuts, or you may call it folklore T nuts. And they some special nuts, some nerd nuts. This one is a common nut, a hex nut, and they hex nuts. So they have for nuts, the thread are inside. It's difficult to observe to see the threads, the inside threads, like human eyes, because you can only see a very small portion of the whole threads. But we have special lenses and cameras. We can get the whole image of the entire internal threads by one shoot. The entire thread will be observed from one camera, from one workstation, and we can increase the efficiency. This one is a peanut. Like peanuts, it can be inserted inside a channel, and fixed. This one may widely used in uh, electric components, electronic components. This one is quite unique structure. It's a rivet nut with half hex and a fringe. Here is a fringe, half hex here. The internal thread inside, so it's for nuts, a rivet nut. For this one, the material is carbon steel and the surface is color zinc plating. And one set of machines we are under development I used to inspect this rivet, this kind of just this rivet. And the machine is placed at one corner of our workshop. I think we can introduce it to you next time. Okay. So now come to the another nuts. This one is quite unique. It's the brass nut nut. The material is brass, a kind of alloy made by copper and zinc. No, the cylinder surface all around the cylinder surface are null, so it will increase the friction, and you can screw and unscrew it by human fingers, by your fingers. This one We have to develop one machine to inspect this node, this node brass nuts, and there are 7 different sizes. And one single machine can inspect all these 7 different sizes of this node nut. Another group of parts we can inspect is screw. Screws with different shapes and different head style and drive types. Screws like uh, self-tapping screws, timber screws, drywall screws, wood screws, and the pocket screws, concrete screws, and the metal sheet screws, machine screws. This one is a self-tapping screw with a pointed end and here a flat head and the socket like a cross. It will accept the Phillips. It's a Phillips socket, Phillips drive, which accept a screwdriver. This is a set screw. Set screw. There's no head. It's a headless screw. Or we call it set screw. Material also carbon steel and uh, surface is uh, surface is zinc plating. This one is quite special. It's machine screws, but there are one spring washer and one plain washer attached to it. There are two washers will attach it to the machine screw. We call it SEM screws, SEM screws, or SEM screws, SEM screw, SEM screw. It's very convenient because you no need to find a washer and a spring washer and a plain washer before assembly. And directly you can assemble it directly. The machine, the parts, the washers will not come out. Will not come out. It's attached during the production. So it's very convenient in very many applications. One set of machines can inspect this same screws. We can not only inspect the screws, the machine screws, we can also inspect the plain washer and the spring washer, both three for 3 parts. This one also so long, so long or part, but it's also a screw. It's a timber screw with length 150 millimeters. So long of screws and our machines can inspect this one. And besides that, we can inspect 7 different sizes from 100 meters, 100 millimeters to 250 meters. 7 different sizes by one set of our machines. The compatibility is very good. The part surface, I see, its surface finish is acrylic. It's a very good, very it's a special coating which have good performance for corrosion resistance. The head is a pan head and the drive tap is top drive. Besides bolts, nuts, and screws, another group of fastener is this one. It's a rivet. Actually, it's a brand rivet. There are two materials here. The core is made of steel. The core here is no one. Core is made of steel. A metal diameter 4.1 millimeters. 21 millimeters in diameter. And the jacket, the coat, the jacket is made 3.8 millimeters. The jacket is made of aluminum. Okay. It's also called self-tapping screw, self-tapping rivet, brand rivet. For brand rivet, the installation and on the work table is random. The position is random, so you do not have a correct the, the position on the surface is random. So it's difficult for machines to get the corrected images. And so we developed a special mechanism. We developed a glass dial, sorry, a stick dial, steel dial. It's a steel disc. It's a steel disc, and all around the disc there are many slots all around the disc. Many disc, many slots all around the disc, and the parts, the rivet can be fixed around the steel disc, and the position are fixed, so the parts can be observed very easily. Another type of rivet is this one. There's a hole in the middle. This one is also a rivet. We call it the tubular rivet. It's also made of aluminum. Hi guys, welcome to our live stream. This is Howard. I'm your host today. Right now, I'm introducing you the detectable parts. What parts can be inspected by the machines, like the machines below me here. Okay, besides bolts, nuts, screws, rivets, I come to let me introduce another group of parts, pins. This one is a door pin. We may call it a hinge pin. It's a very common type. Diameter 8 millimeters. The height 40 millimeters. This one is also a pin. It's a locating pin with a shoulder. I'll layer it for you. The length 6. The length the length 6.85 millimeters. The diameters, I'll measure the shoulder first. The shoulder is 7.5 millimeters, and there are two ends. One end diameter is 3.5 millimeters. The other end diameter is 4.6 millimeters. So you can see it's very, very small, very tiny parts. The locating pins, door pin, or hinge pin, locating pins, and some pins like copper pins, spring pins, and some pepper pins. Okay, and this type of pin is also a pin. It's a non-standard pin. Yeah. I already introduced this one, right? And the machine below me is used just for this pin. Okay, that's bolts, nuts, screws, rivets, pins. Okay, another group is this washer, fender washers, thread washers, spring washers, helix ring washers, split ring lock washers, internal tooth lock washer, external tooth lock washers, and the sealing washers. It's so special washers that special washers with one side steel and the other side rubber. It's a complicated part. Sealing washers and gaskets. Gaskets is different to washers because although they look similar, gaskets are used for the sealing function, used for sealing, and washers are used to distribute this grain, distribute this dress. So they have different. They look similar, but they are different. Both washers and gaskets, both can be inspected by us. This one is a spring washer. For spring washer, can say the structure is similar. Merit, the diameter is um, 30, 32 millimeters. The outer inner diameter 3, 13, 3.8, 3.8 diameter. Thickness 2.6 millimeters. Okay, for spring washers, its structure is simple. For the flame washer, its structure is simple. Usually, one set of machines uh, can make several different sizes. Can make expected several different sizes of this flame washer. It's no challenge for us. It's an easy task. Usually, customers, the manufacturers, produce a series of flame washers, small size, middle size, large size, one manufacturer. So one set of small machines usually can cover 7 different sizes. No need to purchase several parts, several machines. One machine can cover all your series, nearly all series of your production. This one is a spring washer, split ring lock washer, I say there's an opening. It's a helix spring washer, and the material is steel, and the coating is color galvanized. Okay, bolts, nuts, screws, rivets, pins, washers. These are large groups of parts which are widely used in nearly all industries, and these parts and almost uh, nearly all of them can be inspected by us. Okay, besides that, this one seems like a washer, but it's a retaining ring. It's a retaining ring, uh, external retaining ring. It's used together with a shaft. It can fix the components on our shaft, on our road. This one. The material is steel, and surface is black ox black oxide coating. Okay. Besides that, similar parts like external, internal retaining ring used together with the hole. It will fix the the components inside of hole, like the bearings, like the bearings, yes, and for bearings and some bushes, some other elements inside the hole. Retaining ring. Okay. Now some parts. Another group is couplings and fittings. This is the fittings. It's a bulb fitting. There are several bulbs here. Okay, here, and there are hole. It's a small hole in the middle. So this one size is size a little big. So relative big size. Uh, about length about 75 millimeters, and the weight, yes, is I think heavy, a little heavy. The diameter 20, about 19, 19.8 millimeters, about near 20 millimeters. This one, the spout fitting, several stages, several steps. For this one, we have just delivered one set of machines to the customers. It can measure, it can inspect seven seven different sizes and shapes of this kind of bulb fitting. Seven different sizes and different coating, different surface. Some are zinc plating like this, and one type is black. It's black oxide coating. All can be inspected by one set of machines. Okay, beside that, another part like this. It's a shallow bell-shaped cover used in automobiles. The difficulty is that not one part, not one size should be inspected. There are 19 different sizes. Okay? There are only three. Actually, there are 19 different sizes of this kind of shallow bell-shaped cover. Compare it. This one, 38, 38 millimeters. 19 different sizes, and they can be inspected by one set of machine. No need to purchase 19 sets of machines from other suppliers. We can make one machine to inspect 19 different sizes of this type of shallow bell-shaped cover, which are made of carbon steel and with zinc plating. The, compat- the compatibility for this cover is excellent. Okay, this one, the shallow bell-shaped cover. This one is made of steel. It's steel, zinc plating. This one is a stamped part. It's a stamped part. Other stamped parts like this one. This is also a stamped part, but its structure is quite unique because it's one type of irregular shaped stamped part made of steel and color and surface in zinc plating. For this part, I'll measure it. Thickness is 1.6 millimeters. For this part, the challenge is usually the feeding. For irregular stamped parts, once they may be not suitable for automatic feeding or the vibrate ball feeding. So feeding is a problem. For inspection, uh, we can make analysis first and tell you if you have similar parts, you can send us some samples. We can make a proposal for you freely. We'll tell you whether we can achieve automatic inspection or not. and what is the speed we can achieve, and the details about the cameras and lenses will adopt it. Okay, irregular shift stamp parts. I have already introduced so many parts, so many examples about the parts which can be inspected out by our machine, by our sorting machine. The detectable parts, these typical detectable parts, you may find they have one thing, one point in common. One point in common. What is that? They are all made of metal, copper, steel, aluminum, brass, all made of copper. You may wonder, uh, so the parts should be metal? No, the answer is no. We can also inspect non-metal parts, plastic, rubber, wood, some ferret, some complicated composite materials, rubber. This is plastic. It's a plastic bush, very small size. The diameter is only uh, less than 11 millimeters. The thickness very thin, very thin wall, about 26 millimeters. Very small plastic parts, and some rubber O-rings, plastic cover for the automobile tanks. Automobiles tanks. These parts we have already developed machines, many machines for the inspection of these parts. This one, wood, it's made of wood. All around the surface or surface, they are node, so it will increase the friction. Wood part, this wood part, length is 131 millimeters. Diameter is 7.7 millimeter in diameter. It's also a very small part. And here, this one, it's so small part, so small part. Sorry, you can see it's very small, right? Actually, it's an electrical component. It's SMA dioxide, and this size I'll measure it for you. The width is only 2.7 millimeters. The thickness 2.1 millimeters, and the length less than 5 millimeters. So small part, and one machine can inspect this. And besides that, the other electronic components, the LED, the chips, integrated chips, IC, we call it IC, and uh, the resistors, the capacitors, the inductors, all this and some small tiny switches, connectors. All these parts can be made by us, be inspected by us. Other materials, other parts like the magnets, the ferrite cores, the silicon steel cores, they all can be made by our machine. Okay, we have just introduced these typical parts which can be made, which can be inspected by our machines. You may wonder whether your product can be inspected by us. In that case, then ask a few samples. We'll make a proposal for you freely. Okay. Now, let me come to the next stage of our live stream. I'm your host Howard, and I welcome to our live stream. Our live stream is well advanced about 1 hour. Okay, we mainly focus when we are right now. I'm in our Shanghai factory. Our Shanghai factory mainly focuses on the optical inspection machines, the intelligent equipment, and I will now introduce another group of parts. Now I will come to the next stage. What are the inspection items? What are the inspection items? First, we can measure dimensions. Dimensions. Uh, Second, we can uh, we can measure the geometrical tolerances. The third, we can recognize characters. We have OCR function. We can recognize characters on the surface. Fourth, we can observe the appearance. We can detect the visual defect, the appearance defect. Dimensions, dimensions, like the diameters for the both the diameters, the major diameters and the major diameters of the boat, the minor diameter of the boat, the smallest diameter of the thread, we call it minor diameter. Okay, the pitch diameter, the diameter of the head, the total length of the part, the length of the head, the height of the head, the dimensions of the head of the head form, the length of the thread, and the length of the shank, the distance of the object side, the distance from object surface, from object edge, the distance from the angle, the thickness, this one, the distance of the total length, the distance of each stage, each each step here. So many steps we can measure them all at once. And the hole, the diameter of a hole here. The diameter of a rivet, here is called rivet. The diameter, the jacket diameter and the flange diameter. Irregular stamped parts, we can measure dimensions. All the critical dimensions here, here, and here. We can measure nearly all the critical dimensions. For bearings, inner race and outer race. Okay, that is the dimensions. The second is the geometrical tolerance, the straightness. For so long or screw, the straightness is important and will guarantee the straightness within the tolerance. Roundness, the roundness of the outer race and the inner race. The flatness of washer, flatness. The concentricity of inner hole, or inner and outer diameter, the inner circle and outer circle, the concentricity. These are the uh, geometrical tolerances, and other parts like the geometrical tolerance and some like perpendicularity. Also, another geometrical tolerance can also be inspected made by us. Another group is the OCR function. There's an example, There are characters on the surface. Uh, characters on the surface, right? On the surface of the bearing. They indicate the brand and the part number. We can recognize letters. We have OCR function, optical character recognition. We can observe, we can recognize the letters and separate them according to the letters. This one, the stamped letters on the surface of the head of the book. There are stamped letters. Usually it indicates the grade of the boat, the grade of the boat. So we can separate the both the mixture of both with same dimensions and same coating, same appearance, but different grade. We can separate them according to the stamp letters here. OCR function. We have. So the third group, OCR function. The fourth is the appearance. Appearance, like the damage of the thread, the continuity of the thread, the goats, the goats, the dent on the surface, the snarls on the surface, the crack, very tiny crack at the head. Okay, besides that, the coating problem. This is the problem. The poor coating, we can observe that, and some uh, extra coating we call it residue coating can also be observed by us. Recess, the recessive field here like this, recessive field. This part will be judged as effective ones. We can uh, observe them, detect them. For some parts like this, the burns at the edge, we'll observe that the burns, some extra materials. For steel, for parts, for plastic parts, flash at the edge. It's also extra material, and we'll observe that. Okay, that are the typical parts. Here are the typical inspection items. The dimensions, the geometric tolerances, and the OCR effect, and the letter optical character recognition, and uh, and the the appearance, the visual defect. Three, the four categories. Of course, we can also place some special mechanism. Or we can attach other machines to our machine. We can have the function of even test the hardness of the material. Here, we with the help of extra machines, extra equipment, we can achieve uh, such hardness inspection online, yes, at the same time. Okay, that's our the so I would like to come to the next stage, FAQ, and answers. Hi guys, welcome to our live stream. This is Howard with Open Next Group. I'm your host today, and right now I'll come to the fourth stage of our live stream, FAQs and answers. We have collected many questions, and some questions are frequently asked. So I would make an answer here to all of you. First, somebody asked, what is the guarantee of your machine? The guarantee, we guarantee 1 year. The guarantee is 1 year, and we adopted all the the components adopted are all famous brands. The lenses, cameras, the PLC, the sensors, controllers, uh, motors, servo motors. These are all famous brands like Omron, Kins, uh, Blaster, Computer, and Mitsubishi. All are famous brands. The software are our self-developed. We have many experience, have many years experience in this area. So our quality is reliable. Our machine is reliable. It can work properly for you. Okay. And the second question is, what is the speed we can achieve? The speed we can achieve up to 1,000 pieces or even higher. 1,000 pieces per minute or even higher. But of course, it depends on the size of the parts you intend to inspect and the structure, the shape of the parts you intend to inspect. Usually, 10,000 pieces, 10,000 pieces per day. Sorry, 10,000 pieces per hour is no challenge for us. We usually can achieve a few hundred pieces per minute for middle-sized fasteners and nuts and screws. For very big ones, of course, the speed is a little slower. For this one, and we should inspect it as the machine cannot run very quickly. Otherwise, the part, this part, this bubble fitting can cannot stand properly, cannot stand stably on the glass level. So the speed is only 60, 60 pieces per minute. But I think it's still uh, higher than the production speed. So our inspection machines will not become the bottleneck of your production. Will not become uh, will not will not be slower than your production rate. Okay, that is speed. Another question somebody asked is, what is how could you avoid misjudgment? It's a very good question. Some some other of our rivals or competitors, they can manufacture similar machines, but they uh, the the judgment, the misjudgment is difficulty for them. Misjudgment. We have AI deep learning algorithm, so we can train the machine. We can collect a lot of pictures and marking pictures and train machines according to the pictures. So I will let and then we'll let the machine make judgment and we'll verify that and finally we'll make the machine always make good judgment. That is AI deep learning algorithm. With the AI deep learning algorithm we can achieve zero misjudgment, especially some tiny flaws, very difficult, which are very difficult, can be observed by human eyes. We can achieve zero misjudgment. Okay, that is uh, our solution. Our solution to avoid misjudgment. Another frequently asked questions is, how could you reduce the noise of the machine? Actually, noise are usually happen. Are usually mainly caused by the feeder, the vibrating power feeder, due to its visible. You cannot the noise is very noisy. Uh, the sound. So how to eliminate it, how to reduce it? We can, if you are very sensitive to the noises, we can make a sound enclosure and envelopes the envelope, they vibrate for feeder. They sound enclosure are made of steel sheet, like a cabinet, and inside we attach the foam, special foam, mainly will observe the sound, which will observe the noise. So once the sound enclosure envelope the feeder will reduce the noise dramatically. It is our solution. Somebody also asked, what uh, can your machine has the function of automatic packing? The answer is it depends on you. If you need this function, we can add automatic packing system, automated packing mechanism to the end of the discharge code. The parts will be will be collected by our automatic machines. Will be collected in the uh, plastic, sorry, in the paper box or plastic bags by the automated mechanism, and we can maybe 100 or 200 pieces per box, and they can be packed automatically. It also depends on you. Okay. Somebody also asked, have you any experience about the exporting? Have you already have some borrowing? Have you already exported the machine to overseas, countries? The answer is sure. We already have some customers overseas, some like the Canada, some customers from Canada, from Japanese, from Japan, uh, Thailand, Vietnam, uh, England, Italy. These are already become our customers there. Okay, so if you want to import our automated sorting machines from China, we are very familiar with the procedure. We are very familiar with the export procedures. There's no risk that you we will take care. Yes, we will take care of your parts of the machine during the transportation. Okay. Somebody also asked questions like, what is the price of the machine? Uh, the price mainly depends on the structure, on the complicated of the machine. If the parts is very difficult to observe, we need many more workstations, and we need more AI models. In that case, the price will be much higher. But I think 500, sorry, 50,000 US dollars is about the price for typical machines, for typical machines. Yes, that is the price, and we accept payment terms like TD, LC, uh, will Western Union, and also we accept the trade assurance online by Alibaba. Okay, that is the payment terms. Now somebody also asked questions like, uh, what is your benefits? What are the benefits if you purchase your machine? The benefits, the advantages of your machine. Okay, here I can answer in 3 words. Sorry, 3 words: accuracy, efficiency, and consistency. Accuracy. We can achieve accuracy up to 0.01 millimeters. That's 1% of a millimeter or 10 microns. It's very small size, and they we can we based on the machine vision knowledge, we can achieve non-contact, non-destructive inspection. So there's no risk that your parts may be scratched, may be damaged during the procedure. That is accuracy. The second is efficiency. The speed we can reach is 1,000 pieces per minute or even higher. So it might higher speed than what the human methods can achieve. There's a case that one of our customers purchased one set of our machines, and the result is that they saved 5 to 6 operators, and the wages, the labor cost of 5 to 6 operators in 1 year is about 2 times the price of 2 sets of our machines. In other words, in other words, they can recover their investment within half a year. The ROI is only 6 months or even shorter. So our machines can not only improve your quality, but it can also help to reduce your manufacturing costs. Hi guys, welcome to our live stream. This is Howard, your host today, and our contact information is here. This is my mobile phone number. It's also my WhatsApp number. And here, this is my email address. So you can contact me very easily. We are always here to serve you. Okay. The third is, besides accuracy, efficiency, the third is consistency. Our machines is based on the judgment of our machine is based on the user-defined accept and reject criteria. In other words, we define a standard. Once the standard is set, once the criteria is defined, our machines will make the same judgment again and again. We have good performance in gauge R and R. R and R. Yes. If you for same parts, we'll make the same judgment again and again. But by comparison, the operators for the appearance defects, they make judgments according to their maybe into their think into their idea. They make judgments subjective and inconsistency. They may judge it good one this time. Next time, they may judge it as bad one. The judgment is subjective and inconsistency. So the judgment is not always reliable, making it like humans. So we can achieve objective judgment, that is in consistency, and further guarantee or we can further reduce eliminate misjudgment by our AI models, AI deep learning algorithm. So that is accuracy, efficiency, and consistency. Our 3 advantages, our 3 benefits. Okay, that is our last room today. If you have any questions, please comment down here, or you can send an email to me, or contact me by mobile phone, by WhatsApp. I'm always be here to serve you. Okay, I'm your host, Howard. See you next time. Have a nice day. Bye bye.